Welcome back everybody to another MOTOBOB video from MCL25. This time we're coming at you from the Royal Enfield stand, who have a whole bunch of very interesting bikes on display. And so here's our pick of the best. So let's kick off with the new Bullet 650, which we covered at EICMA a couple of weeks back, but lovely to see it on the stand again here in the UK. And this one's built upon their 650 air-cooled parallel twin platform, with the same 47 horsepower peak output as all of the other models. They don't really mix it up between the different 650s. The only downside for this one is that it does weigh in quite heavy versus something like an Interceptor, for example. It comes in at almost 250 kilograms, but it's to be expected with this level of finish. When you look at some of the details, these metal mudguards, the beautiful paint, the headlight nacelle as well with the clock set into the top, it's quite understandable that, of course, it's going to put on a few kilograms. Tim was, I'm going to say, shooketh when we walked up to this bike by the size of these leg guards. I think these are quite common, though, in India. I've seen a lot of bikes out there with those. Probably quite practical, let's say, keep your legs safe, but that's probably going to add a few more kilograms, let's say. But I think this one's all about a steady, easygoing ride, enjoying the vibes, enjoying the scenery, and it definitely does that very traditional look about as well as any other bike on the motorcycle market. I think this might be my favourite electric motorcycle now that I've possibly seen. It's the Flying Flea. It's their electric program they started a few years back. Last year at EICMA they unveiled the standard C6 version, which is more road focused, quite traditional looking with a girder fork. But this year at EICMA they unveiled this, the S6, which is built upon the same platform, of course, but has a much more scramblery aesthetic and also a bit more of a scramblery spec. So some of the differences you can see versus the regular Flying Flea or the C6 are the oversized front wheel. It's got spokes as well. This is a 19-incher for a little bit more off-road capability. Of course, they've got rid of those girder forks for a more conventional, let's say, upside-down fork. Bodywork has been switched up a bit as well, so you've got a high-level mudguard, you've got little handguards up there as well, and also I believe the riding position is slightly different. You've got this enduro style long and slim seat. Now it does look like the same dash, this little round TFT, which has got some connectivity features. The switchgear is, I think, the same as well, but they do say it has some more appropriate electronics with a off-road specific riding mode. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but I'd imagine it'll allow you to lock the rear brake, for example, so you can slide the bike in. No range or charging or power specs or anything like that. I think that's probably the really important stuff, but I believe that's coming in the next year or so, so it'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out. But for me, like I say, possibly the most desirable electric I've seen so far. This wasn't in my plans because I kind of forgot it was a new bike for 2026. It's the Goan Classic on their 350 air-cooled platform, but I had to film it because it just looks so fun, I guess. I think it was originally launched for India, but I believe they are bringing them into the UK as well now. And it just looks amazing. It's this turquoise paint job, the orange, the little white pinstripes, the graphics, the white tire walls, the tubeless orange rims. It all combines for something that looks amazing. And also it feels a little bit different to ride. You've got these swept up bars, a little bit of a ape hanger position, and a couple of novelties like the heel shifter, which you don't see on many bikes, but I believe that's if you're riding in sandals and you don't want to hook your toe under the shifter. So really cool little bike. I don't think there's that many of them coming in, so if you want something that looks very vibrant indeed, then you might want to get down your dealer to get a deposit on one. Tim, you love a Himalayan 450, don't you? Yeah, he's a big fan, and I can see why. It's a really approachable little bike, good value for money, but also really quite capable. So it's their 450 liquid-cooled single. It makes about 40 horsepower peak, 40 newton meters of peak torque. Good off-road capable spec with the 21-inch front and 17 at the rear, a decent amount of travel, but at the same time, it's not super tall. This one is 825mm in the seat height, and also it comes in at under 200 kilos curb at 198. So very manageable, but very capable. And new for 2026, we've actually got this Mana Black Edition edition. I really like this graphical treatment on the tank. It is just stickers, but it does look really quite good. And while this one does come in, I think, at 6,400, so quite a big step up from the £5,750 base price, I should also point out that you do get the tubeless spoke wheels as opposed to the tube type, and so might be preferable if that's how you prefer to fix your punctures. And I also think they look a little bit better as well. Now, Rough Crafts are a custom shop who built this one-off 650 twin over there for Royal Enfield as a bit of I guess a bit of an example of what's possible if you want to customize one of their 650s. And it was such a hit that they decided to make it, or make a version of it as a special edition. So this is it, the one I'm sat on. It's a shotgun 650, but customized by Rough Crafts. And they'll be selling 100 of these worldwide, so not a particularly big run. And so again, you might want to get your skates on if you want to get hold of one. Now, what makes it special? Well, it's the finish with this gloss and matte black. It's got real gold, Tim, in the pinstripes. That's actual gold there, so if you want to come back later and shave it off with a penknife, it might be worth something. This tank badge, solid brass as well, so there's some good materials gone into this, and I think it just all combines for a very cool looking bike indeed. In fact, they've really themed the black and gold by changing stuff like the fork inners there to gold, and what it looks like to me is almost like a badass modern version of the 650 Bullet in black and gold that we looked at earlier. Very nice indeed. I really like this, and it's cool to see them making, you know, something a little bit special, a touch more available to the average punter. Tim, give you £100 if you can tell me how old is Royal Enfield?
110 years.
No, mate, 125. Unlucky. Very close, but still no dice. 125th anniversary in 2026, so they started in 1901. And to celebrate the occasion, they've gone with this special edition of their classic 650. Now, look at this paint job. It's almost as good as I think it might be better, actually, than the Rough Crafts one over there. It's got this, what do they call it? I wrote it down, mate. Hypershift paint. It goes between red and gold, depending on your particular viewing angle. But they've also embellished it with a bit of gold in the Royal Enfield logo there, some pinstripes. They've got these side panel badges as well, and this is just one heck of a good looking bike. Blacked out on the engine, blacked out on the pipes, they've blacked out the rims as well. They've also got this lovely crafted saddle, which is specific to this model as well. And to me, it looks like a very fitting way to celebrate 125 years. The only thing I don't have on this particular bike is availability in terms of numbers or price or anything like that. But I believe that's coming in the next few months, probably in 2026 when it's actually the anniversary. One of the best things though, one of my favourite things about visiting the Royal Enfield stand is that they always have a good selection of customs. I feel like they do a decent job of getting involved in the custom scene, of supporting the custom scene by commissioning stuff, and so it's nice to be able to see a selection of the projects that they've been recently involved in. We saw some of these at the Bike Shed show, I believe, this sort of Dakar style bike here, the Fuel Bear 650 we saw at ABR Festival as well, Tim. And then also we've got a couple of their flat track bikes. I think they might be from their slide school. And there's a beautiful thing on the end, which I think they sent up the hill at Goodwood too. You see that silver one? Did we film that at Goodwood? I think we did. So lots of special bikes, you know, commissioned for special occasions and projects. And so definitely if you get a chance to come down and have a look, maybe next year actually, depending on when this comes out, but I'd thoroughly recommend it. As always, we'd love to know your favourite bikes from this video down in the comments below, so do let us know. We'll put our playlist from MCL on the screen now so you can catch up with all of our content. Do hit subscribe for more of the latest news and reviews right here on MOTOBOB. A massive thanks for watching today, and we'll see you in the next video.